Welcome to the jungle known as Tiger Talks Wrestling, live from Muskegon, Michigan. Motherfucker. You are watching Tiger Talks Wrestling, live from Michigan. Now, live from Muskegon, Michigan, this is Tiger Talks Wrestling. Like, comment, subscribe, or be infected.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tiger Talks Wrestling. Today, we are going to try this again. This past Monday, you've seen that we had him on briefly. Rain stopped him from getting the full episode, so here we are again. As I am joined by my guest today, EBW star Kerry Animal Gros. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Hopefully, let's get everything out before anything happens.
Fingers crossed. That's for sure.
Yes, that's 100% for sure.
All right. So for the people that didn't catch Monday's show, we'll just start right off from the beginning again.
All right.
Tell me about your wrestling origins. What first got you involved in pro wrestling, first of all?
Pro wrestling. My nephew, who is older than me, he had all kind of wrestling games and stuff. So, I used to watch him play it all the time. So it kind of got an idea of it, but I didn't think it was real because who was crazy enough to hit each other with chairs and ladders and stuff, which, kind of keeping up with the games since 2006. Finally, in 2008, I have a brother who watches it as well. And he was like, hurry up and turn it on this channel because I was catching just the end of it. And what you know, there was Rey Mysterio and Edge building up for the Royal Rumble. So I kind of caught wrestling at the beginning of 2008. So since then, I've been hooked.
Nice. And Jay Joker Designs is in the chat room. Says, "Hey guys, hey Jay, good to see you."
Hey man, how you doing?
All right. So beyond that, what first got you interested in backyard wrestling and involved in backyard wrestling?
Well, at first, it goes back to my nephew again, which he used to always say, "You want to wrestle?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I used to just get my ass beat for a good 10 minutes until I just started crying and wanted to quit. And then I would go back and be like, "I got you this time," and then just repeat. So it kind of went from there. And then after a while, I did meet up with some friends at elementary school, or a friend in elementary school, and we had our own YouTube thing going on in 2008. So it was kind of early YouTube. I know it started in 2005, but it was kind of early YouTube, and it just really just whenever it kind of explored more. So
gotcha. Justin says, "Doing good, dudes. Great to see this happen."
I agree.
All right. So, and Johnny Burns has arrived.
Hi, Johnny. How's the belt?
On time, too, he says.
Yes. On time this time.
Yep. All right. Who would you say, for when you first started wrestling, were some of your influences early on?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember who I said. Really, as I said, I was a big fan of The Undertaker, so I guess that had something to do with it. But whenever it came to my first character, like first development of Kerry Animal Gros, I didn't really have no influence behind my moves. It was just stuff. So I can't really say no one really influenced me into becoming a backyard wrestler. Really?
Gotcha.
So.
Well, who would you say nowadays you kind of influence or you use moves of, I guess you could say, in a way?
Kind of a mixture of as many people as I can. Like I like some of Seth Rollins stuff. I try to do as much Undertaker stuff as possible. You know, kind of just, I don't know, a lot of bigger people, even though I'm not a huge guy compared to someone like Austin Abear. Oh, sorry. Creed. Austin Creed. I didn't say that. Austin Creed.
I bet it. And it. About the title, Johnny Burns says, "You tell me."
Oh, sorry, Johnny. I'm kind of embarrassed at the moment. Just give me a minute. Shoot. Okay. No comment, Johnny. Let's keep going.
Shall we? Tell me about your character's origins. What first made you decide to go with the character of Kerry Animal Grow?
This is also kind of embarrassing, but I like the Muppets. And there's a character on there named Animal, and he was my favorite. And whenever I was younger, like my dad used to like, do simple hand stuff. I used to always like punch his hands and stuff, pretend they were wrestlers, and he would call me the Animal Grow. So eventually, I decided to add Kerry Animal Grow in there. So that's kind of how that started.
Gotcha. All right. Johnny says, "Who the fuck is Austin Herbert?"
He is a fan of EBW.
Okay.
No more about all that.
All right. What would you say has gone into the development of the early career of Kerry Animal Grow compared to now?
Kind of exploring more helped me develop a lot. Starting off on trampoline kind of helped understand how some moves work. Of course, whenever you're kind of young, you're punching each other from 10 feet away and still having to sell it. But then you kind of transition into bare ground, which was that very long period of my career. And it made me realize if I'm just going to fall on the ground, I may as well just actually get hit. So that kind of helped toughen me up a little bit. Now we're on trampoline again because me and Austin, we're trying to save our bodies for wrestling school because that's what we're hoping to do. And so kind of take it more easier, but we still legit hit each other, and I still get speared the hell out of from Austin. Nothing really different.
Yeah.
Plus, it's kind of fun to take back bumps on the ground every once in a while.
Right. So what does the three letters EBW mean to you?
Really, EBW was kind of a tribute to my origins of backyard wrestling because I was in a backyard wrestling fed with one of my friends called Extreme Backyard Wrestling. So EBW is kind of a tribute to that, but changing it up a little bit. There's a indie company around my area that one of our wrestlers, Psycho, his dad wrestles for. So it was kind of tribute to them as well. Elite Championship Wrestling. So I just added Elite Backyard Wrestling. And now that I did more research, there's only one other company that was called that, but it's dead.
Okay.
So we are the best.
There you go. All right. So we got a couple people in there. They're not saying much at the moment, so that's okay. If you guys got any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment section. Let's go in beforehand. As I've mentioned on Twitter and told you and other people, I hadn't really seen a whole lot of your stuff before.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We talked, but you had me watch a few things, so we're going to go over some of those things.
Okay.
The first match you actually sent for me to watch, or one of the first ones, it wasn't the very first one. First one I want to touch on was a match for the KWF Championship. Now, what was KWF, first of all?
That was a federation called the Kid Wrestling Federation that consisted of me and some neighbor kids who confused me for someone else that I eventually found out they liked wrestling. So from me kind of doing the Celtic Cross onto their bed, they were just like, oh, that's fun. And it made me kind of remember back to whenever I did backyard wrestling because I didn't do it for a while. There was a long period of me not doing backyard wrestling. So I was like, y'all interested in trying this out? And they were like, yeah. So that's how that kind of formed. And then eventually it just grew. And then I turned 13. So it didn't make sense for a teenager to be in Kid Wrestling Federation in my eyes. So KWF eventually ended.
Gotcha. Now I'll get into the match here in a moment. Justin just says, yeah, kind of multitasking with listening to this and making graphics. That's not surprising. So
understandable.
Yep. So the match that you sent me to watch was you versus one Thunderbolt for the KWF Championship. What do you remember about that match, first of all?
Oh, I've had multiple matches. Let me try to remember which one I sent. I think I sent you. Was it the one where I hurt my knee? Was it that one?
I believe so. And it was on a mattress. Yeah. It's KWF 7.
Oh, it was on a mattress. Okay. I remember that one now. Well, first off, it was freezing cold outside. And I was So there's that reason for being inside. And they had 2 beds because Thunderbolt and they had another wrestler named Sexy Boy who were brothers. So basically, we just put the mattresses, we turned them on each side, and we thought they had some cool stuff because there's this huge gap in the middle. So we thought, oh, we can make it look like the ring broke. So there was that, but that was kind of the beginning of me on the channel itself. And it's pretty weird to think that at first I said I was only going to be in a few matches and I just want to leave it up to them, but they really wanted me to stay. So now it eventually turned into me still here.
Right. Okay, so Johnny actually has a question for you before we go more into that. A real question. Since Psycho and I suppose Nightmare now too, showed up, which of your matches do you find the most entertaining to watch from any episode at all, not just pay-per-views?
Do I like watching? Shoot. I don't know. I have to watch them multiple times because I'm the one that edits them, but really, I feel like any match, I feel like Austin and Johnny do a lot, with Johnny being an underdog type of person, and having Austin, of course, being the big man because he is a big man. And for example, like their pay-per-view that they had, their pay-per-view match with me as guest referee, I feel like it told a very good story of a person who was willing to go through everything to win the belt, and Austin that just didn't give a damn about anything.
Right.
So really, I just enjoy Austin and Johnny.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I didn't write down who won that match. So I will say, for a first impression, seeing that match between you and Thunderbolt, I thought it was, it was just okay. But again, since it was early on in your career, obviously,
just children having fun.
Yeah, which you could tell that was the point for that part.
Yeah, eventually you get serious.
Yeah. But the first thing you actually sent to me was a combination. Your first match, which you could go into if you want to for that. And then we'll go into the other part of that video as well.
Let's see, the first match. Actually, let me go back in the DM so I could try to remember everything.
Like, I don't recall who exactly it was against. I didn't write that part down. Shame on me.
All right, going back there now. Okay.
I know the other part of that video was your certain promos.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. Let me see. So that was kind of the very beginning of me as well. I was up against my friend. That's kind of the original EBW, which we changed to BTW, which was very, as I said, we were fighting from 10 feet away. His name was called The Stone. So he kind of helped develop a lot, except during that time, I wasn't known as Kerry and Gros. I was known as Myco Psycho.
Right.
So that explains me going up to the camera and being all like all stupid and stuff. And I did commentary over it because there was music. But at one point, whenever I did go like that, he was actually starting to yell at me like, dude, stay in the ring. Stay right in here.
You're right.
And so those were horrible. I'll be honest. They were horrible. You said the ones for KWF were, man, those were just horrible.
Yeah.
Thank God they're not really on the internet a lot.
So you kind of touched on this on Monday when we talked about it, but go over the Myco Psycho promos that you cut back then. Myco Psycho character.
If I watched them now, I'd probably want to cry because it's hard to take someone serious whenever they sound like a chipmunk. I'm going to beat you like that. Just no. And I'll give it to any kids that do that. That's good on you. But once you get older, you're going to realize that was horrible. But that's who I was, trying to act like a hard ass. So, I don't know if I should put them videos in private now.
I didn't think the promos were too terrible, to be honest. So, they're interesting for the character.
Well, thank you. Never mind. I'm keeping them up now.
There you go. So, Johnny had a follow-up question. Well, then, what about matches do you wrestle in yourself, considering you have to edit them all the time and don't usually need to go back and watch? Which ones do you...
Matches that I'm in?
That you're in, yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people's early matches were kind of meh. Like at first, me and Austin seemed like we weren't going to have anything, but eventually, we ended up having some of the biggest rivalry. Same thing goes for Johnny, and then Psycho, who I wish was able to stay longer, but he went to a military camp type thing. But I'm really enjoying what I'm doing with Johnny because it's something new. I faced Austin a million times. Johnny, he's beaten me a lot, sadly, but I enjoy facing Johnny.
Okay. All right. So now we get into actually EBW action that you sent to me. First event was the first pay-per-view. Surprise post, it was titled. And you went against Colin Heartbreak Boy.
Yes. Heartbreak Boy, Colin Boudreaux.
Yep. Now, what do you remember leading up to that match and in that match? How that match went down?
Well, first off, I met Colin in school. And it kind of went from there. One day, I wanted to see if he was interested since EBW kind of went downhill after. By the way, there was a Fed in between KWF and EBW, but I don't like to mention it because it was absolutely horrible. So thank you very much. So I was pretending like everyone from EWF went to the original EBW that we made, but they eventually moved. So I was kind of just like testing. I was like, I'm about to film something. And he said, oh, cool. What is it? And I said, Backyard Wrestling. Are you interested? And he said, yeah. I said, well, just come down to my house and we'll see what you got. So eventually, all we did was fought each other because there was really no one else around. But that I remember that match and enjoying it so much. Like, plus there's a lot of matches that wasn't caught on camera. That was also very fun that I wish was caught on camera. Like him clotheslining me and me doing a backflip, which is very rare, especially on bare ground.
Yeah.
But having matches with Colin was always something fun.
Yeah, I'll say, obviously it was pretty much a false count anywhere match. You guys were wrestling on the ground, all around the house.
Everywhere from cement and grass and just, it was crazy.
Yeah. It was a very good match, in my opinion. Probably one night. The matches I had watched up to that point, the best one of those three, but
it's okay.
That would get changed real quick, though. Before I move into the next one, Justin wants to know what companies would you like to travel to wrestle in if you had the opportunity to? If you decided to.
Probably everyone would say VTW, but I'll try to go for UWE maybe. Because they're trampoline, so it's kind of still my element. But there's a lot of great guys there. So
interesting choice. Something that most people know about. Of course, Johnny says we don't travel, but he's retracted that message afterwards. So.
It's okay, Johnny. It's okay. It was just a simple question.
Yes, it was. All right. So let's go into the match I'd actually say is the best one I've seen of yours so far. That being the 3 stages of hell, as you guys call it. I say it's more so it was a 2 out of 3 falls match because 3 stages of hell usually has 3 different stipulations for those matches. Yeah. But anyway, the 3 stages of hell match at your birthday bash against Austin Creed. Walk me through that, the setup for that match, and then how that match came about.
Well, that one specifically was really. We had a show called Retaliation, which you could watch if you want, but we thought that one was kind of rushed because we were waiting on Austin's mom and family to come watch, and Austin's mom eventually came and was like, y'all didn't film it yet? So she kind of got mad, so we were just like, let's hurry up and get it done with. So we felt like this match had to be redone again, so that way everyone could fully not understand. I don't know what I'm even trying to say. Try to make it better, make it what it was supposed to be. So, and that's what it ended up being, was something it was actually supposed to be like. So the build up to that was good. It was very hot though, and I'm wearing all black during that as well, in like 98-degree weather.
Ouch.
Yeah, Louisiana doesn't play.
Yes, huh?
And then a hot trampoline as well.
Yeah, that had to suck, for sure. But anyway, what do you remember most, would you say, about the match with Austin Creed, the 3 stages of hell?
Probably him screwing up my leg. Cousin KWF, I screwed up my leg. I jumped off a car and it basically just landed on the ground. So I do have a bad knee. And Austin decided to mess with it. And there was actually one point where he messed up my ankle. He was twisting it and it cracked a little bit. And I was like, oh. And he didn't care. He just put me in a submission afterward and made me tap out.
Man.
For one, but it is one of my favorite matches as well with Austin.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, in my opinion, it's probably the best match I've seen that you've been in so far.
And it has been featured on Ecstatic's channel.
I might have missed that one, but
yep, the very first episode of Ecstatic Talks Wrestling, he reviewed it. So that was pretty cool.
Watch it again. Because I'm sure I've seen it, but just been a while since he posted.
Oh, yeah.
TTW. All right. But in the end, of course, for that match, you actually did walk out the victor over Austin as well. So,
which, of course, Ecstatic called out was like, oh, that's no shocker. It is his show, which I guess he had a point.
Justin says, I've seen that match. He might have been mentioning that he's seen Ecstatic's review for it, and the match was great.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
It's a nice frog splash at the end. I'll give you that for that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So then we move into Thanks for Pain pay-per-view back in November of last year, where you went against the Psycho.
Yes.
That was
crazy.
Yeah. That was quite an interesting match in itself. For me, I thought it went a little longer than it needed to, but it was still a very good match.
We did that for the views. There was supposed to be 2 matches, so we just dragged it on to make it look like it was 2 matches.
Okay.
Just try to trick people a little bit.
Makes sense, I guess. What did you think of that match?
It was really fun. That time I made sure to wear all white. But it was really fun because, as I said, his dad's a professional wrestler. So having to face someone that has as much experience as him and as much, he is trained properly, of course. He did help us out a lot. But having to face him, he came up with a lot of the spots, really. Mm-hmm. So having that match was very fun to me, very painful as well. The most painful thing probably being the drop kick to the back of my head with the chair. Yeah. Because not much I was able to do there, but really it was an enjoyable match. I thought, we're trying to tell the best story we can, that we hate each other's guts. So, and I think that's what I thought about it.
Hey, Johnny mentions Johnny didn't show up to Thanks for Pain.
Yeah, he was busy. It's okay. I forgive you, Johnny.
Okay. Yeah, I
punished him by giving him the title.
It was a nice Extreme Rules match, but pretty much Extreme Rules. But most of you guys' matches are Extreme Rules or no DQ, whatever we want to put it. Justin did mention, I kind of went past this, but I'll go back to it. On a personal basis, with your mindset and everything, you would click with the UWE roster in an instant.
Yeah, and whenever I did post a rant about the backyard wrestling community, one of the guys did in fact talk to me, and he was like, I really needed that kind of talk. And it was Rick Rios. He was like, I really just needed to hear that. So eventually we kind of talked a lot more. So I'd say that we're friends, and I talked to him about a lot of stuff.
Nice. You can't go wrong with getting to know Rick Rios, that's for sure.
Yeah, but also to quickly note so that way I don't ruin anything, he's an asshole.
Okay, there you go.
Horrible person.
That's screen-wise, yes. Hey, he did end the guy whose company, I'm right, career, so.
Oh, man. Yeah, I talked to him about that. For sure. I had to make sure to definitely bring that up.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on before we go into a few other things to what happened today. I have seen it. It was Summer Blast, I believe was the name of it. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
shoot, I forgot the name of the own show. There's so many shows. Like I'm so far ahead of everything. Summer Brawl.
Brawl, yeah, sorry.
Summer Brawl. It's okay. I forgot myself.
But anyway, it was supposed to be a triple threat match.
Yes.
But the video opens with Austin Creed mentioning he wasn't going to be able to compete because of health issues.
Yes. Yeah, it was okay. So we were going to film the triple threat match, but Austin was having health problems because I think 2 days after we filmed Retaliation, which the footage got lost, sadly, me and Austin was bleeding everywhere. Austin ended up having what they thought was a very bad anxiety attack. So he was on a heart monitor for a good while. Okay. And so his mom wanted to wait till they got the results, which was the next day. And he was like, we really can't do that. You know, everyone's kind of busy. I had to do the interview that eventually went nowhere the next day. So we ended up filming, and really Austin felt bad. So I was like, just be a referee. And of course, he had to go ahead and screw everything up by introducing whoever the hell it was that just decided to walk in. Where I guess Johnny knows who it is. I don't. Nightmare, I guess they said he was. I don't know.
Yeah, it's apparently the name for him. But anyway, let's talk about the match first before we go into that part.
Okay.
It was a pretty good match between you and Johnny Burns.
Thank you.
I've noticed one thing, though, in most of your matches. It seems low blows are quite common.
I don't like... I'm always the one that ends up getting hit there.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Everyone just hates my balls.
Well, you'd retaliate and give Johnny one as well during the match, but...
Yes, he deserved it. It's plain and simple. Especially during a handicap match, whenever we were trying to screw him up, he went ahead, grabbed my leg. Austin had the other one, and Austin and Johnny decided to pull, making me do a split. Now, I am not a gymnastic. I am not.
Right.
So I ended up screaming my lungs out.
Yeah.
Probably lost a testicle while screaming as well, but let's not go there.
Let's not show it. All right, but you guys did put on a pretty good match. Austin did, for his credit, call it right down the middle. So, although his count should have restarted sometimes when you guys were outside the ring, but hey.
Okay, Austin's partially blonde. I'll give him that.
Okay. That's good. But yeah, at the end, of course, we saw a DDT pretty much out of nowhere that seemed almost a little anticlimactic, in my opinion, for the finish of the match to see Johnny get the win. But it was a good match through and through for it. You're welcome. And off of that comment that you mentioned, Austin Creed is in the chat section now and says, fuck you.
That's for you, Austin. That is for you. Watch yourself Wednesday. I'm telling you, Austin. Watch yourself Wednesday.
Gunshot says, hey, he's in the chat room.
Hello, Gunshot.
Johnny Burns says, you got tough balls. They're not easy to break. And also said to Austin, oh, it's Austin. Sucks that you has another mop head. Do your work, eh? Of course, mentioning what happened after the match where this guy apparently named Nightmare came out and took out Johnny Burns, and then also when you came back out, laid you out as well.
Johnny, I do not appreciate you keep making fun of my hair. He's just mad he can't grow hair like that. Plain and simple.
Could be. Gunshot says, damn, Austin, need to chill out.
This is...
So do you see yourself at any point in time doing a crossover show where you go somewhere or hope that somebody would come to you and do a crossover event at some point?
There has been some people that did ask for us to go over there. Well, not ask, like we mentioned before to Dangerous Grove Wrestling that we lived not too far away from them. They were like, oh, if you're close any time, you could come stop by or whatever. And they eventually shut down, so that was completely gone. And in fact, Adam Anderson, which of course you catch up with all them, he one time offered. Yes, he one time offered to actually come fly down here and wrestle, and I was like, thanks but no thanks, which I feel like was kind of good on his part. I don't want to use a lot of guys. That's why I feel like what happened is like I sent Rick Rios a few matches to get his stuff or whatever, and I'm the type to kind of feel bad if people kind of just want to do something. Like, I don't want them to think that I'm using him or anything. So I told him, no, just keep dominating the backyard wrestling world. And then eventually he blew up a lot. At first he just seemed like a fan, and then eventually now he's a big person in backyard wrestling, which is good for him. I do support him.
Yeah.
Really, other than that, nothing else ever came out of it.
Gotcha. So, what would you say is your future in backyard wrestling? How long do you think you're going to be doing it, and what all do you see yourself doing in backyard wrestling?
Well, I've been doing it for a while, and of course, I know I can't do this forever. But I'm hoping to go a little bit longer. Kind of try to mix up independent with backyard wrestling, as a lot of people do. So that's what I'm hoping, is still somehow balance independent with backyard wrestling, because backyard wrestling will always have a place in me. That's where I started, along with a lot of people. So there.
Johnny mentions, I'm actually planning on filming a promo video on Nightmare in Austin later.
Johnny, just don't talk about me. I thought we were cool. We got attacked together. Just stop talking about my hair. Just
all right.
Stop.
So, in the effort of trying to help get more subscribers and viewers for you, why don't you go through, for people who don't know, who all is a part of the current EBW channel or back group?
So I guess I'll have to start off with him, since he just randomly decided to make an appearance. Austin's little buddy Nightmare. Then, as I just said, Austin. Then there's me. And then there's Johnny. And I guess these two are a part of the roster, even though they rarely appear. We have Mind Freak, which is an original from KWF. And then we have Old Glory, which is someone. He's
Okay.
someone. And that's basically everyone that consists of the roster right now.
Gotcha. Gunshot asks, how old are you?
I am 17, about to turn 18 in August. I am old.
Fair enough. So, if you had to choose a couple words or even a match, maybe, for people to get a feel of what EBW is, what would you tell them, if for new viewers?
Well, I would have said a triple threat match, but we don't have any of those. So, really, if you're looking to get a feel of everything that happens, I would say, I really don't know. I guess I would just say, just click on a match. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you don't. It's kind of hard to choose. There's so many matches.
Okay, fair enough. What do you hope in the long run is the lasting memory for fans or viewers, whichever you want to call it, of EBW?
I want them. Well, first off, I don't want them to think I'm an asshole for putting a rant on Twitter. So really, if anything, I want them to remember the wrestlers themselves. The matches, they have a lot to do with it, but if it wasn't for the wrestlers, then it's really nothing, in my opinion. So, if anything, I want them to remember the wrestlers.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course, that bunch of things that we've seen on Twitter from you lately, mentioning how you don't have the support and don't get as much recognition as a lot of the other companies do.
Yeah, just frustration.
What he's referring to. Now, I will say I've seen a few things go down on Twitter as well from you, even including my show. So I know you had some issues with one Mark Williams back several months ago. Now, now, I believe those have been fixed from that, but
yes, it has.
It happened, yes.
Yes.
Even a video came out about it, I believe, as well at one point. So
yeah, it was a video about the backyard wrestling community. I tried ripping him apart, and of course, he's very good with words, very colorful vocabulary. So, but eventually, I apologized for what I said, and things were kind of fixed up.
That's good. And Gunshot said, "Holy shit, I'm the same age." Johnny Burns says, "Carry animal grow," all in quotations. Dude.
Yeah, because it's Carry Animal Grow, not Animal Crow. I know that's kind of confusing.
Yeah. Because Animal Crow is what Gunshot said. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see where to go from there. So what do you see yourself doing past backyard wrestling? If not, obviously you said something about independent wrestling, but if things didn't go that way, what would you think you would see yourself doing?
I would be a bum in the corner. I'm just kidding. I don't know. If wrestling doesn't work, I'm basically screwed because since I was 8, I've been wanting to be a wrestler, and I really don't have no backup plans. I'm not planning on going to college or anything. So really, I better cross my fingers that wrestling works.
Gotcha. So obviously the Undertaker is one of your big influences. Who would you
Yeah.
say are some of the other guys that you look up to or you enjoy watching, whether it be WWE or any wrestling in particular?
One person, like as you get older, you start to understand it more. And one person I eventually got fond of was Edge and his work. The way that he was as a heel was very good in my opinion. His work was very good, especially with Vicky Guerrero, which is I know isn't his highlight of his career, but that was something that was pretty cool to me. Um, a lot of people, for some reason, compare me to Dean Ambrose. I don't know why. I guess at times I could be that crazy. And one person I do look up to whenever it comes to extreme stuff, I guess it has something to do with the hair, but is Mick Foley. Because I do like doing hardcore matches, which is why we have them so much. But I do look up to, Undertaker, Edge, a little bit of Mick Foley in there. So, and I guess I have to look up to Dean Ambrose.
That one, not so much sure I see, but Edge and Mick Foley, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Gunshot says, I'm going to try to reinterpret this from the way he put it. Hey, Kerry, do you think I think he's supposed to say, you will ever be a part of BYW Mania or a Best in the Yard?
I'll be honest, I have no interest in BYW Mania. I know those are people that are blowing up the backyard wrestling world, but none of them in there kind of interests me. No offense to any of them. I'm pretty like I've watched some of their stuff. I don't keep up with them too much, but or Best in the Yard, I don't think I'll ever get there. To be honest, those are a lot of guys that are very close to each other, obviously, and they're in the corner of the world. I'm all the way at the bottom, so and I'm broke. I can't travel anywhere, so I don't see myself ever getting there
Fair enough.
unless I pull a cage.
Maybe.
I don't know.
If he wants to go that route, then I would assume that would be a negative to King of the Yard appearance as well. Ah, that's all the way up in New York, so. All right. Let me see here. Got a few other things to go over.
All right. I feel like you're about ready to start going off on me.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, you kind of questioned me over a tweet, so
Hey, I'm gonna get into it. Don't worry.
Oh man,
Because that one we do have to go over. Because I got so much to say about that one.
my career's about to be over.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that one. All right. I'm gonna pull because he has some great questions, and he just didn't send me any for today. So I'm just gonna go back and find some other ones.
All right.
What are some of your other hobbies besides wrestling?
I work out a lot. So I don't know if that's considered a hobby, but that's something that I do a lot.
Oh man, I missed one. He apparently had another message in there, but he retracted it.
Oh man, don't be scared. I see the videos that you post. You're always talking about someone. Don't be scared to talk now.
Gunshot was who I was referring to, but sure.
Yeah, I'm talking about Gunshot.
Yeah. Didn't know if you were in that.
Yeah, I keep up with his channel.
So, who are some of the other companies that you watch and enjoy competitor-wise? Who do you like watching in the ring?
Like company-wise or like any wrestlers?
Backyard wrestling.
As I said, I do watch BTW and UWE, and shoot, I did watch Dangerous Grove Wrestling at one point, and then in UW, I have to catch up on. I still didn't see Navon's full. I didn't watch the full episode. I didn't watch it completely. I know. I would definitely have to watch that. But to be honest, I rarely keep up with Backyard Wrestling. There's so much of it, so I kind of try to watch as much as I can. But those are the main ones.
Anybody in specific that you enjoy watching the most on any of those companies?
Ecstatic really entertains me.
Yeah?
There's something about him. And then there's something about Lips. He scares me. Something about him that's just like, wow.
Interesting pick. Must say.
Now, I'm not interested in trying to get to know him, but
oh, come on. He was on here before. He's a unique character. That's the way I put it.
and that's why I watch his stuff. I have no interest in meeting him.
Yeah, I honestly don't. There's a reason that was a recorded episode and not a live episode, pal. All right. Well, since we are in that season for WWE, do you have a favorite Money in the Bank ladder match and why, if you do?
Well, first off, I really enjoyed whenever they had Money in the Bank matches at WrestleMania. I felt like they were a lot more special. So, in the very first one I watched was from WrestleMania 24, and that one really had me liking ladder matches a lot. Might have been something to do with one of the spots in it. You know, everything in general I enjoyed. So that's one of my favorites is WrestleMania 24, Money in the Bank.
So since we're on the topic of Money in the Bank, what's your favorite cash-in moment that's happened?
Once again, as you get older, you start to appreciate things more. So I really appreciated Edge cashing in on John Cena.
Yeah.
That was one of the shocking moments. And of course, I don't like whenever Edge cashed in on The Undertaker. Horrible idea.
It was necessary, though, at the time. So
yeah, of course.
Nice choices.
Thank you.
My personal favorite of all time was actually Seth Rollins, but that's just me.
Oh, yeah, of course. Definitely one of my top favorites.
Yes.
I have so much wrestling memory, I forget about a lot of stuff. Hard to forget that one, though.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget where he cashed in on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to steal the title at WrestleMania.
Very historic. First time that ever happened.
Yes. First and only. So far.
Yes.
Gunshot mentioned you keep up with his channel. That means a lot. Thank you.
It's no problem. I just watch it for the beef.
There you go. So you probably, since you watched those companies that you mentioned, what are your thoughts on the Murder Club that's recently become big in the backyard community?
At first, I was talking like, oh my God, there's so many clubs. But eventually you do become, you realize that it's actually a very good thing because not much things really get really big, especially whenever it comes to backyard wrestling. It's frowned upon like backyard wrestling itself. Right. So having something as big as Murder Club is something special, not only for them, but in my opinion, the whole backyard wrestling community itself.
Yeah. It's definitely something huge, and I think it'll probably go on for quite a while, but we'll see. Johnny mentions his favorite cash-in was when Dean Ambrose cashed in a couple years ago. just because of the irony, karma, how poetic it was, and the storytelling.
How poetic it was. That's funny.
Well, to his point, all three members of the Shield held the WWE Championship on that night, so
Yes, also quite a historic cash-in.
yes, it was.
All of them really are, to be honest.
Most, not all.
Yeah, most.
Few have failed, so you can't say all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, that one's a really good one. I gotta steal that one. If you could choose one person to narrate your life from the backyard wrestling community, who would it be and why?
Shoot. Damn. Wow, that is a very deep question. Gosh, as I said, there's so many companies. I don't know. I'm a very funny person, so I feel like for some reason, if I had Mark Williams do it, he'd probably roast me a lot. So honestly, I think I might choose him.
Very interesting. I know he's not watching right now because they're a little bit busy recording some BCW and NWF Adrenaline stuff down in Lower Michigan right now. But
of course.
there's my little plug for them. Make sure you guys go and watch. NWF Adrenaline has a pay-per-view coming out next weekend, I believe. So there you go. Who are your favorite faces and heels currently to watch in WWE? If you do watch it currently. Some
yeah,
people...
I try keeping up. It bores me at times.
Yeah, I feel it.
It's getting rough, but I really am into Braun Strowman, of course.
Braun!
Yes, it's just fun to just stand in my room randomly and just go like, Braun! My mom goes, what's wrong? Braun Strowman. It's just Braun. He's one of my favorites at the moment. Heel wise, I don't know if people would consider him a heel, especially for how over he is, but I like Rusev.
Well, he's technically supposed to be a heel, so there you go. I don't know
Like
why they still have him as a heel, but with how over Rusev Day is.
For some reason, if you're over, you're just a heel that does face things.
Yeah.
Just works.
But yes.
Think back to people like Stone Cold and stuff.
Right? Now, on this one, if you could resurrect one person from pro wrestling to come back for one more WrestleMania match, who would it be?
Shoot. Again. I feel like Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a very good athlete. I feel like either him or maybe Owen Hart. Those two were very good.
So, Johnny wants to know, says you weren't here for this last time when he asked. So his question for you is today Rusev Day or Lana Day?
Oh. You know what? I am a Rusev guy, but I am also a Lana guy. I don't know. I'm just say Rusev Day. We don't have no Lana Day shirts.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Yet.
Yeah. Gunshot says thank you again for keeping up with the channel. It means a lot.
No problem.
If you could be in any match type of any sort that you haven't been, what would it be and who would it be against?
I like Hell in a Cell matches. Those they, when executed correctly, are very entertaining.
Sure.
And it was against anyone, or it was like just backyard wrestling community?
Anyone at all.
Anyone? I don't know. I'd like to beat Austin up. Quite badly. So I feel like with Austin.
Okay. Be unique. So, what did you think when you heard the announcement that there was going to be 64 men involved in this year's King of the Yard 2 in New York and UW?
My thought was, damn, this is going to be long.
That's true.
Good for them. I just, no offense, but I feel like I don't want to sit around for 10 hours. Which I feel like, it's not going to be 10 hours, but it's going to be a very long one. For sure.
They'll probably cut it up in weekly episodes like they did last year, I assume. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, yeah, that's going to be a long one. That was my only thought, really.
Gotcha. All right. So what are your favorite types of animals?
Well, first off, I hate snakes. I'm going to just say that now. Snakes are, no.
I don't blame you. Me too.
Really, I like tigers. Tigers are interesting.
Yeah.
And they kind of just flash at you. I feel like I just flash on people for no random reason. Just because.
Gotcha. Snakes are the devil, Austin says.
Austin, don't start kissing ass now.
You might try. Gunshot, I'm going to take this to how I think he means it. Does anybody else want to see Yankee versus, I believe it's supposed to be Grimm's Toy Show? Grimm from Grimm's Toy Show.
I haven't watched Grimm Toy Show in a while. Though I do know that Yankee's on there. I do know that Rick's on there because Rick's always advertising it on his Snapchat. But I really don't watch it as much.
Yeah,
kind of just
doesn't say.
It's just, I don't know. It's probably the clickbait.
Gunshot loves snakes. Well, good for you. You're the only person here that does, I think. So.
I am unsubscribing from your channel. No, I'm kidding.
Of course, right. If you won the lottery tomorrow, what would you do with the money?
Go to wrestling school. Or buy a ring. Probably both, being as I have that much money.
Good choices. Johnny doesn't have Snapchat, so Johnny wouldn't know.
Okay. Johnny, you keep getting my respect, but you just keep losing it. We got beat up together. You're going to talk about my hair. Now you're going to say snakes are pretty cool. I will choke you.
All right. Flip-floppers. Gotcha. So, interesting. So this is going to kind of go into what I wanted to ask anyway. So, favorite kind of music to listen to?
I am really heavy on rock. Not heavy metal, but like rock.
Gotcha. Your respect means nothing to Johnny Burns, apparently.
I am going to punch you, Johnny. I'm going to punch you very hard. Next time I face you, I am punching you really hard.
Okay. I don't think anybody said anything about buying a rake, but okay. Anyway, so what does the music that you use for your theme song mean to you?
Well, the beginning, I feel like, has this vibe of like, oh snap, something's about to go down. And then eventually it gives me the point to do my signature pose. I just feel like it really works for me. For a while, I was trying to find a good theme song, and I felt like that was one that I enjoyed.
Gotcha. You don't like heavy metal, you're a disgrace, is what Johnny claims.
I listen to some heavy metal. I'm not in love with it.
Yeah. Everybody's got their own choice in music, so
yeah,
they get that. They're not much of a heavy metal person either, so. All right, you'd mentioned a few names, so I'm gonna do this. Good boy. Okay. Put you in the hot seat here. And for the hot seat, I had an old version. I have a newer version. We're going to do job one, fire one, and push one. You're in control of a company. I want you to tell me which one of these three guys you're going to have jobbing, first of all, who you're going to push to the moon, and who you'd fire.
Okay.
Now, I'll throw in one name from your company, and then I'm going to throw in two other names outside of it. Let's go from Johnny Burns from your company, first of all, because that'll be interesting because he's in the comment section. Austin is as well, but Johnny's just been there the whole time. So we'll put in Rick Rios since you mentioned him as well.
Okay.
And heck, you mentioned Lips, so let's put Lips in there.
I'm firing Lips. I'm getting rid of him automatically, not even a question.
Gotcha.
I'd push Rick, and I'd make Johnny job.
Interesting choices.
Because if you get rid of the Ani and the urns, you get job in the first place.
True. Johnny said those were from his brother, by the way. Johnny is dedicated. Johnny stays.
Johnny, I didn't know you had a brother.
So he says.
You should invite him sometimes to a taping.
He had something else to say that you might have seen too from your answer. All right. So, about that tweet. Unpopular opinion. AJ Styles overrated? What the hell?
Okay. AJ does have the it factor, I will not deny, but I feel like that too many people kind of think he's like really good, like he's just like godly in wrestling, and I don't see that. Does he deserve everything he has? Sure, but I just don't see him as like, oh, he's the very best in the world. You know, he's awesome. Like, you know, he's all right. He does a few kicks and punches and jumps here and there.
Really?
That's the way I see it.
That's the way you see it.
Plus, I'm not kissing ass, but the owner of the wrestling school I'm going to was going to have a match with AJ, but AJ dropped out for some apparent reason. So that kind of had me upset.
Okay. So your reasoning suck, but okay. But
not that special to me.
So answer me this: how long have you seen AJ Styles wrestle?
I have watched him wrestle since he was in TNA in 2008.
Okay.
I've met him. I've met him also, should I add?
Well, congratulations on that. Wish I could say that. But
He's starting to rip me apart slowly, I could tell.
Yeah. Something along those lines. No. In my opinion, AJ is exactly what he says he is, the phenomenal one. Just looking back at all of his career that he's had, you can go back. Excuse me.
You're all good, man.
Still getting over a cold, so bear with me for a minute.
You're good. You're good.
You can go back to his days in WCW, actually.
Yeah.
Now, those days weren't all that good. He wasn't the phenomenal one back then. But he was also in a tag team back then. He had a couple tryout matches in WWE after that. But when you talk about AJ Styles' TNA career and then what he's done in WWE so far, I just can't believe that anybody would say he's overrated, to be honest with you.
I enjoyed his TNA run. I do say that WWE. I feel like if he had the ability to do a lot more, then yeah, I'd see why everyone would praise him. Like if you compare his stuff in New Japan to what he does now, then I would see it. Whenever he was in New Japan and in WWE, whenever he's starting to go through the evil ways gimmick, fighting aces and eights and stuff, I'd see why they say, oh, he's one of the best. But it's like right now he's kind of I get WWE's more strict, but I just don't see him as the godly person he is currently.
Okay, I'll somewhat give you that, but still. I'd take issue with anybody who says AJ Styles is overrated. So, because AJ Styles
was arguing over that at WrestleMania. We were arguing over that.
Yeah, probably. Because AJ Styles, in my opinion, is the best when it comes to WWE in-ring competitors right now. So,
I got you.
yeah, so got a great New Japan run, that's for sure. But I didn't really see a whole lot of the New Japan run, but I've heard about it and know about it. So
Yeah.
and he had a good run in Ring of Honor as well. So
Oh shoot, I completely forgot about Ring of Honor.
yeah,
He did a little bit over there.
but he's still. If you ask me, AJ Styles is the one guy, pretty much one of the couple guys in WWE. You could throw anybody in there with him, and he can make him look great. So
Yeah, I'll give you that too. I'll give you that one.
All right. Gunshot said, "Don't blame you for doing that. I wouldn't go near Lips. He freaks me out."
Who doesn't freak out?
And Johnny Burns says he would say he's an AJ, I believe, is who he's referring to.
Mm-hmm.
He's been given the Batman treatment. People look at him and get that he's awesome, but they treat him like he's unbeatable. I don't know that I'd agree with that fully, but that's just my opinion. So everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'll give you that much.
Unpopular.
Yes, very unpopular.
Yeah, that was unpopular.
Not sure that's the correct word for it, but still, we'll give that to you.
Very unpopular?
Very unpopular, yes.
Okay.
All right. So, all in all, who would you say, who is Kerry Animal Gros for people that don't know?
Well, at first, a nobody. Currently, somebody. Hopefully one day, will be known one day. That's what I think. But me as a character, at first, being a lot more serious, but now just really having fun of trying to make people break character. That's how I test my people. I try to make them break character.
Gotcha. Gunshot says, actually, in my opinion, I think AJ Styles' ROH run wasn't very good. Hope I don't get hate for it.
Get him, attack.
Well, I'll say this. His Ring of Honor run could have been better if he wasn't doing New Japan at the same time. So, if he would have had more time in Ring of Honor, it would have been better.
See, that's why I forgot the ROH run. Because,
He had very good matches there.
Yeah.
Johnny mentions, yeah, how often do you break my damn straight face?
I have to try. See, here's the thing, okay? Johnny is in plays and stuff at school, so he's used to staying in character. But I know that there's some things I could do that can make him break, and that's why I do it.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to toughen him up.
Good reason for that. Good reason. So if you've seen yourself in the indies or pro wrestling, who would you want to face if you had the opportunity to pick somebody in the indies or pro wrestling to step in the ring with?
Whoa. I feel
currently wrestling.
I feel like Pete Dunne would be interesting.
Interesting choice.
Mainly because I think my fingers are immune to being bent, since that's all Austin did throughout school, was just bend my fingers around. So I feel like I'd be immune.
Okay.
I feel like that'd be interesting.
Unique. Johnny calls bullshit on your reasonings for trying to break his straight face.
Don't lie, Johnny. I will expose you.
No exposing.
I had a slip up from Austin. I will have a slip up from you.
Uh-oh. So where do you hope EBW goes from here?
Up. I hope that from me being on here, people have a better understanding of me, but also a more better understanding of EBW. Because as the rant said, I would like EBW to have some recognition. In this big world of backyard wrestling, I feel like everyone deserves some kind of recognition. Though, as I said, Ecstatic watched our match. There's just this need of for some reason, of like more approval from more of the top guys.
Right.
And as I said, we're one of the last feds in Louisiana. There's nothing really left around us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something else.
So, what do you say to people like, I'll bring up Ecstatic since you mentioned him, who pronounce your last name as Gross, obviously, that it's spelled instead of Gros?
It is perfectly understandable. You know, Louisiana is nothing but, I'm not going to say French culture, but there's a lot of French stuff around us. So, my last name, it means tall, which suits out for me since I'm 6'2". It also means big, but I'm not big. But I'm used to it. You know, hell, at least he knew my name whenever he watched the video. He didn't even know who Austin was, so I'll take that. And seeing as Ecstatic might have had one too many for the last episode, I let it slide.
You think?
Yeah, just
Yeah, just a little.
Just tiny bit.
Didn't seem like it. Gunshot said, Johnny, you really need to be quiet before Kerry hurts you. Austin says, washed up Kerry. And Johnny mentions, I beat Kerry's ass several times. He beat me once. I'm not scared of him.
Johnny, I do not get it. Just not. He's sending me mixed signals, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So what can fans expect to see next in EBW?
Well, obviously, apparently we have someone new in the mix.
Apparently.
So I guess we gotta wait and see what he could do next. I don't know. All I know is this Wednesday. I'm despite what Johnny is saying, I'm gonna let Johnny have his time and celebrate his victory after defeating me and still being champion.
Yeah.
So that's what you should expect. Wednesday is Johnny celebrating. I don't know what happens from there. Hopefully, Austin and Nightmare doesn't interrupt, because I do want to give Johnny his moment, despite him talking all this shit on the internet.
Of course, right? Now face to face.
They could do whatever. Let them tweet or whatever they do. Johnny's Twitter fingers, though.
So, at any point, do you think we'll see an actual singles one-on-one match that doesn't have no rules, no hardcore rules to it?
Well, it is. We mainly save that for the pay-per-view. That's what we do. We don't have a referee, so basically anything could happen, but we do try to keep it down the middle where there's really no weapons.
Gotcha.
But most of the time, we mainly save the high stuff for the pay-per-view. So most of the time, just expect a normal match or a tag match or whatever we have planned.
Gotcha. Good to know.
I know it's quite confusing, especially with no referee.
Yeah. Other companies have done it that way. It's good. All good. All right. So if you guys got any last comments or questions, get them in the comment section. We're going to wind down here very soon.
Bring on the questions.
If you got anything you want to add, feel free to say anything about EBW or whatever as well.
All I have to say is just try to keep an eye on it, and hopefully, if you've never watched EBW, that you would at least give us a chance in showing you what we could do, and hopefully we could have new eyes on us. And to quickly say once again, thank you very much, Tony, for having me. I do greatly appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And I'm glad that what I did show you and it did make you come to like us and what we try to do.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's something different and very interesting. Hey, GTS fan page in the comment section now says, what's up?
Hello.
And Johnny Burns says he wanted to add something. So,
oh, shoot. He's about to type for 20 minutes.
What he's about to add. Find out here in a moment. All right. Well, while they're doing that, we'll wait and see what they say. Gunshot says, Kerry, what is your favorite backyard wrestling show?
EBW.
There you go. And GTS fan page wants to know if you remember him.
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Did he hear?
All right, Johnny, I know you're listening. Try to make this quick.
While he's doing that, I will mention, if you guys didn't see, I posted a video the other day, yes, a couple days ago, I think, for the 1 year anniversary. Yes, Kerry, GTS mentions that he made edits for you.
Yes.
I'll get into Johnny's bit there in a minute.
Okay.
Let me run this down real quick. For anybody who's watching this and didn't see that video, anybody who wants to send me a match, preferably 20 minutes or shorter, that doesn't have commentary to it and would like to be featured on Tiger Talks Wrestling come sometime later this month, early next month, I'm going to be doing 2 months worth, close to, if not, depending on how many videos get sent in, where I'm going to do commentary for matches for several different companies. So if you want to be featured on Tiger Talks Wrestling that way, make sure to DM me those matches before Sunday, June. Make sure I got my dates right here. 17th, so 2 weeks from today. And I will start either at the end of June or beginning of July. I'll do 1 match per week where I do commentary for those companies. So if you guys didn't catch that before, I just mentioned it again here. DM me either on Twitter or if you got me on Facebook, send me it on Facebook, whichever way you want to do it. But there you go. That's for any company in backyard wrestling. So keep that in mind yourself there, Kerry.
We just got to see what's in the schedule.
Yep. All right. Johnny says, out of character for a bit, but I really agree when I say Kerry deserves the recognition he works for. I haven't had as much fun doing anything other than wrestling. Totally not kissing ass either.
You know what, Johnny? You got my respect again. Just stop talking about my hair and everything will be fine.
And GTS fan page says I got hurt in a Gaelic, I might be pronouncing it wrong, but anyway, football match between, by the way, Gaelic football is an Irish sport. Gotcha.
I got you.
Yeah, if you're on my Facebook, I had it posted in that last video. Otherwise, you can message me on Twitter. Most people know how to get a hold of me on Twitter, so I can give it to you there. So yeah. Now, I might have one more thing for you here.
Oh, save the best for last?
Uh-oh. Maybe not. I might have had a little surprise for you, but it might not happen, so we'll see.
Oh, shoot.
So, besides that, while I'm trying to get this situated, there will be an episode, 1 year anniversary episode that I'm still determining what I'm going to do for that as well, at some point in August, more than likely as well. Look out for that. Yep, it looks like it won't be happening. Okay. All right. Gunshot mentions that his stupid autocorrect on his phone makes him want to throw it out a window. Yeah, I think a lot of people have that issue at times.
Yeah. Everyone can relate. It's okay.
Definitely. No, somebody else was trying to get in to have some things to say, but it's not quite working the way we thought it would. So
Oh man.
that's all good. All right. So for people who are getting to know you and might ask, I know there's some people that wonder about move sets that people use. So for instance, what would you say are some of your signature moves, and what would you say is your finishing move?
My signature is a spinning backbreaker. So that's the main thing where I lift my opponent up and I just swing him and make him land to my knee and give him a little bit of a chiropractic back massage.
Nice.
My other signature is a swinging leg STO, which is almost like Johnny Burns' finisher, except I grapple them, have their leg, and basically just make them fall. And I had to switch my moveset around a little bit. And one of them is a two-handed choke bomb, which is two-handed choke slam, same thing, whatever.
Right.
And another one is is basically like a neck breaker into a face buster. Just have them by the neck and just swing and make them hit their face and make them bleed a little bit. It's okay.
That could be interesting. Gunshot asks, "Hey, Kerry, have you ever thought about doing a Hangouts call with fans?"
Not really. If you really want to interact with us, we have Twitter and Instagram and stuff.
There you go. Now, beyond that, I'll plug one more thing. Don't have anything set up yet past this show. I do have one person who's going to be on here eventually. Again, he wants to be on. He just has to find his own time to be on here. That'd be a guy that we've been mentioning, Ecstatic. We'll be back on Tiger Talks Wrestling at some point for a Q&A whenever he's available. And there's another guy and another show that will be coming out probably in about the next couple weeks, but you guys just have to wait and see what that show is. So,
Ooh.
it's going to be a surprise for now. But it'll be big, I'll tell you that. It's not going to be, for anybody who's watching later or now, it's not going to be anything like when I had Eli, Mark Williams, on here. So those won't be happening too often. That was just something special. So beyond that, any last things you want to mention before we head off the air?
I think I basically got everything across that I'd like to.
Okay. And if there's nothing else from the viewers in the comments section, I'll give them a minute or two.
All right.
Make sure to, of course, I put the link in the description below. Make sure you go and subscribe to EBW's channel if you haven't already. They do put up some good stuff. If Jay Joker's still in there, he can even attest to it. He's mentioned to me before that he watches it and enjoys it too. So, but yeah, it's really good stuff. It's different than some of the other things you're going to see out there. So enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you for that plug.
No problem. Gunshot says, "Do you guys watch Indiana Championship Wrestling?" I personally can't say I do.
I cannot say that either. As I said, there's like thousands of backyard wrestling companies that is out there.
I'm subscribed to a few that I don't really even watch. So
I do it to support them. I don't really watch a lot of this stuff if I do subscribe.
And Johnny says, "Oh, that's horseshit," all in quotations for some reason.
It's an inside joke.
Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, also if Kerry's Twitter is below. If you guys don't follow Kerry on Twitter, make sure you go and follow him on there. He's got some good stuff on there as well. Some things some people might not agree with, some things, but it's a lot of fun anyway. So make sure you follow him there if you don't. Beyond that, you guys know where to find me, Tiger121685 on Twitter. Follow me there if you haven't already. And I believe this is where we say goodbye. So thank you for joining me Kerry. Glad we got this one out of the way this time. Didn't have any issues.
Oh, yes, for
Like
sure.
Monday. I know some people were confused as to why I was asking them on instead of, and thought they were still waiting for you. But
Yeah, it's okay now, people.
yes, very okay. So if you guys were interested in watching on Monday and didn't get to see what you were hoping to see, then make sure you watch this at some point, and then you'll be happy.
Exactly.
Should be happy. 'Cause I think we covered plenty of stuff here. So, again, with that being said, that is Kerry Animal Grow. He works at EBW, is founder of EBW pretty much. So there you go. And I am Tony. This has been Tiger Talks Wrestling. We're out of here, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.